Hi everybody, this is Douglas Hartman with Airbrush Artistry, and tonight I'm going to do a video on my two Evolution airbrushes from Harden Steinbeck. I will break them down and show you the ins and outs of them, as well as do a spray test. I have the 0.15 millimeter needle and nozzle set up, the 0.2 and the 0.4 as well. So stay tuned and have a good night. Thank you. Bye. Okay, so these are the Evolution airbrushes that I have from Harden Steinbeck. On top here, we have the Evolution CR Plus. It was the first detail airbrush that I purchased, and it came with the 0.15 millimeter needle and nozzle setup. And then on the bottom, we have the Evolution Solo. The main difference is the Solo has a nickel plating, CR Plus is a chrome plating. And there's also a difference in the needle head design, which I'll show you. Now to take these apart, they're very simple. Unscrew. And I love the handle on these. I'm not a big fan of the cutaway handles on airbrushes. I prefer just a smoother design. Okay, you can loosen up. Pull the needle straight out. And that comes off right there. This assembly unscrews like that. The spring, the needle guide. One thing that people that have Harden Steinbeck airbrushes, one of the things that they complain about is the trigger. There seems to be, as far as when you pull the trigger back, there's a little bit of lag before the paint comes out of the airbrush. The hack is this bag of seals. And that bag of seals, you have two of these guys right here. They're very small. They're sticking to my finger. So what you do is you have to take a small drill bit and you drill out, groove out the center of them a little bit so they fit on the end here. And that takes up the space and it makes the trigger response instantaneous. And the trigger pops out like so. The cups unscrew. This guy here is not wanting to come off for me, of course. Not when I'm doing a video, right? That guy. Again, very friendly, beginner friendly. Drop-in nozzle. And this guy here, it just, yeah, like I said, it's being difficult because I'm doing a video. Anyway, it's a compression fit. It normally, under normal circumstances when I'm not doing a video, it slides right off. And put it all back together. Nozzle slides in. Very simple design. Trigger. Drops in as well. Put your spray on. slide the needle in, and you just, boom. You don't have to be rough with it. Tighten that down. Cup screws on just like so. And this guy here, this is the one I have the 0.15 millimeter needle nozzle set up in it, and I have the smaller cup on this guy here. It's handy dandy. It comes in great for doing real fine detail when you're just using, you know, a few drops of paint. And the thing about it is when you're using it, you're just looking straight up and over. There's no, you know, large obstruction in the way or anything like that. This guy here, take the needle out real quick. See, this one's going to cooperate. There's the needle head on that one there. Again, you have a drop-in nozzle. It's very, very beginner friendly. A lot of people, when they're starting off with airbrushes, you know, the smaller parts may intimidate them, but and that's what you don't want to do, is drop your needle. Fortunately, I don't think it damaged it. Again, push it forward a little bit. And that's why you always, if you're going to buy an airbrush, buy a separate needle in case you just do what I did and drop it. But hey, you know, things happen, right? And there you go. And so now what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and get on the spray test. And on mine, I also have these quick connectors for the air hoses. It just makes it much easier when changing out airbrushes if you have multiple airbrushes. But yeah, so let's get into the spray test. Guys, so this is the Evolution CR Plus, and as you can see, I was able to get the little air cap off, and you can tell the difference in the head design between the Evolution Solo. So this has the 0.2 millimeter needle and nozzle set up in it with right now. Then I'll spray the Solo that has the 0.15, and then I'll switch out the Solo needle and nozzle for the 0.4 and do the spray out as well. And this is just Wicked Black reduced 1:1. Okay. And let's see what I can do here. As you can see there, there's a kind of give you an idea. And probably, let me go ahead and put a couple more drops of reducer in this, because getting fine lines, it really is. It's about how close you're getting that needle to your artwork, and how well reduced your paint is, because it has to be able to flow very well, you know. And another tip, I use Windex and a Q-tip for tip dry, and I just take it and run it over the needle just like that. All right, so this is, I added, so I had like 4 drops of paint, reduced 1:1 in here. And I put 3 more drops of reducer in it. And the reducer that I'm using right now is this Createx 4011. Now let's see what we can do here. And I'm running right about 25 PSI. And you can see so yeah, so there's kind of a indication. I've had my phone is on 3 power magnification right now, so just to kind of give you an idea. All right, so now I'm going to switch over to the 0.15 millimeter needle nozzle setup. But and I'm telling you right now, I'm going to go ahead and add more reducer to it, because with that 0.15 millimeter needle nozzle, you've really have got to reduce your paints down. Here is that. And then you can tell the difference in the head design on these guys. All right, this line here, this is just a little indicator line, pencil line for me to know where the bottom of my video is going to be. All right, so this is the 0.15. I may have to reduce this even more. Let's see here. I'm going to give it another shot here. Yeah, it needs to be a little bit more reducer in here. Now let's see here. Yeah, it's not, man. Yeah, that ain't right. I'm kind of running out of room here. Let me go up right here. Yeah, I bet I buggered this needle up when I drop it, because it's not spraying very well at all. There we go. Finally. Hopefully you guys will be able to see. This is a little bit better. There we go. Yeah, that's what it was. It was the, because I've got that smaller paint cup on here, I wasn't able to mix it up very well, and therefore the thicker the paint was still the bottom. Yeah, so let me see if I can't. Zoom in on. We're gonna have an earthquake here, guys, all right? So bear with me. Just to show some of the other lines. So that guy right there, that's, where'd he go? No, he's up here. The pencil line is up here. So I was finally able to get some smaller lines. So this right here is, I just plucked this from my head. You can't see it because I think I grabbed a gray one, but yeah, kind of give you an idea. But it's all about, man, if you don't have your paint reduced good enough with a small needle and nozzle setup, it can make you frustrated, really, when it comes down to it. But as you can see, once I got it, diluted properly, you're able to get some really, really fine lines out of it. So let me go ahead and switch out that needle and nozzle with the 0.15 millimeter and switch over to the 0.4 and see what we can do with that. All right, so just bear with me, guys. All right, guys, so now I've got the needle and nozzle swapped out for the 0.4 millimeter needle and nozzle setup in the Evolution Solo. And up top here, you can see some of the lines with the 0.15. And here we go. Oh yeah, a lot more paint. Yeah, you're gonna have to excuse the noise. So, one of the things you could probably notice right away, this is a straight 1-to-1 ratio. See how much darker it is than the paint that I sprayed with the 0.15 millimeter. Remember the other day in the video I mentioned about when you're using a detailed airbrush and you have to over reduce your paint to spray and flow well, but you're also desaturating the paint. You have to keep that in mind. So up here we have some of the 0.15 millimeter needle and nozzle sprays, and then this is the 0.4. Again, notice how much darker they are. It's because you don't have to desaturate the paint by over reducing it, and you can still get some pretty good lines. Now that was a good one right there. Finally, right? I mean, that's not bad. People think you have to get really small needle and nozzle set up for detail and to get real fine lines. And that was with 0.4. And again, this is probably gray hair, so you're not going to be able to see it. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope it helped out somebody. I'm going to zoom out a little bit. But alright, we got an earthquake again. Sorry guys. Alright, what I'm going to do is kind of scooch this over a little bit like that. Yeah. So down in here was the 0.4 millimeter needle and nozzle setup. In here we had the 1.5, and up in here was the 0.2. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed it. Oh, what did I do now? Yeah, it got all fancy on me. But remember, the key with a small needle nozzle size is reducing your paint. If you don't reduce it right, it's going to clog up on you. The paint's not going to flow out very well, and it's going to be very, very, very frustrating. And the key is just paint reduction and getting that needle as close as you can to your artwork to get a real fine line. All right, you guys have a good night. Bye.